At Cultures for Health, we offer 3 different kefir products: our milk kefir, our water kefir, and our kefir starter. Today, we're going to be looking at how to use our kefir starter. We love our kefir starter because even though it's a direct set culture, there's some really great applications for direct set culture. So what is direct set? For our kefir starter, direct set means that the culture is to be used once. Luckily for kefir starter, you can reuse that culture a few times up until about 7 days, and it will continue to ferment. Once you see that ferment start to break down, it's time to use a new packet. Unlike our kefir grains that are heirloom and last forever, kefir starter is really great if you're just getting into kefir and you're not sure if you're gonna like it, or you're looking for a dairy alternative like coconut milk, which we will show you. So let's get into it. Kefir starter can be made with 4 different liquids. We're gonna show you what they are, and then we're gonna show you how to make it. The first jar is apple juice. When choosing a juice, we recommend to choose a juice with a fruit that has a natural high content for sugar. Our kefir likes to consume sugar, so we want to make sure that your fruit juice has enough sugar. Also, make sure that it doesn't have any added ingredients, right? Absorbic acid, citric acid, any kind of additives, stabilizers, color preservatives, colors are all going to interfere with your fermentation process. So make sure you're getting a juice that's 100% apple juice or 100% grape juice or 100% cranberry juice. Our second jar is milk, just regular whole milk. Organic is obviously recommended, but if you are on a budget or conventional has been working for you and your other ferments, then go ahead and use conventional milk, but we always find that organic gives us better results, so that's what we have in this jar. Our third jar here is coconut water. Pretty straightforward. Again, make sure when you get coconut water that you're getting a bottle of coconut water that is 100% coconut water, right? We don't want any stabilizers, any color additives, salt, acid, any of those kinds of things. The last jar is going to be coconut milk. Now, typically in coconut milk, you'll also see something like guar gum. Don't be afraid of something like guar gum or locust bean gum. Those will also be found in your commercial yogurts, and typically your ferment can survive that kind of stabilizer or thickener. But anything beyond that, be careful of the ingredients of your coconut milk. And of course, try to pursue organic options if you are able to afford it or you have a good local source. We definitely recommend always fermenting with organic first. So let's add our packets. You are going to add your whole packet of kefir starter into your jar. So we're gonna go ahead and tear it open and dump it in. I also like to give my packet a little bit of a shake before I do this, just to make sure that all of the powder settles to the bottom of the packet and makes it into my jar. So we're gonna go ahead and pour it in. Do a little tap, get all the extra powder out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stir it just to make sure that all of the powder that sank to the bottom dissolves, breaks up, does what it's supposed to do. And then you're gonna cover and ferment at room temperature for 12 to 18 hours. And that goes for all 4 of these liquids that we use today. So just put your little coffee filter, your butter muslin on with your rubber band and let it go. It's been 18 hours since we made our powdered kefir starter, so let's take a look at our results in our 4 different mediums. So the first thing that I want to know is we have kind of 2 different types here. We have our clear water juice-based ferments, and then we have our white milk, non-milk, plant-based milk ferments. So there's a couple of different signs that we're going to be looking at with each of these. The first thing I want to note with the clear water-based ferments is that the #1 sign of good ferment activity that you're going to see is the change in cloudiness. So I poured us a fresh jar of apple juice right here, and then if you take a look at our jar of apple juice that's been culturing for 18 hours, you'll see a very big difference in the cloudiness of our liquid here, right? This one is very cloudy. You can see the yellow color. I can barely see my hand through it, whereas this one I can see all my fingers through it. It's still very yellow, but it doesn't have the same cloudiness in the brine. The same thing's gonna go for your coconut water, right? Coconut water is a little bit more opaque. It's got a little bit less transparency to it, but it still will give a fair amount of cloudiness when the ferment is done. Obviously, smell and taste are very good indicators of whether your ferment worked and whether or not it is safe to consume, so always be doing those steps. Those are also going to be great indications for all of these that your ferment is actually working. So let's take a look at these two real quick. So for our milk base, our cow's milk base, you're going to be able to tell it works because the milk is actually going to set up. So if you take a look at our jar, when we tilt our jar, our milk's not pouring out onto the counter. You can actually see a little bit of whey separation here. And I mean, my jar's at 90 degrees and I'm not dripping onto the filter below. So that's a great indication that our kefir powder did a great job setting up our milk. And now we have ready milk kefir without having to maintain milk kefir grains. That's the great part about our kefir starter. Remember, it's direct set. So it's a one-off. You can reuse it for a couple days if you'd like, but it's really great if you're just trying to make milk kefir for a dip for a party, you know, and you don't have time to maintain, or you're about to go on vacation, or you just want to try it out and see if you like it. Kefir starter is a great product. Same thing with our coconut milk here. Our coconut milk is not going to thicken the way that our regular milk does because of the different nutrients or ingredients that are in our coconut milk. But we should still see a little bit of thickening, and obviously smell and taste are going to be great indicators that our kefir starter powder is working great. And this one honestly smells so good. I had our cameraman smell it earlier and it is so good. We're so ready to make some great, delicious finished product with it. Maybe just drink it out of the jar too. So that's how you're going to be able to tell that your kefir starter powder is done. Remember, if you do want to make some with this batch, if you want to make another batch or 2 or 3, it will last up to 7 days, but the culture will slowly die off. So you may find that after 2 or 3 days, you're not getting the strength that you would like, but absolutely make sure that you're saving a 1/4 cup out of the jar you made for your next batch.